This is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. I'm going to do a recipe demo. I don't often do recipe demos for you guys, but I'm going to do one today because this is one of my favorite recipes. So this recipe demo is a salad, and it's an 811 approved salad because there's no overt fats. Now, some people may want to include fats and some people may not. Some days I include some fats, like a handful of nuts or two, and some days I don't, and this is one of the days I'm not. So what we're going to do is start off with a salad. The first thing to start with your salad is you need the salad greens. So as you can see, I got these little containers here. These are called Groham's containers. They're very similar to Earth boxes. I got them at clearance at Lowe's hardware store for about 10 bucks. So check it out. For 10 bucks, I'm able to grow a lot of different leafy greens. And I want to encourage you guys to eat a variety of leafy greens. Not only do I have things like lettuce growing, I got cilantro growing, I got some mild mustard greens, I got some Mizuna, I got some red Russian kale. I even have some radish greens growing that I started from seed. So I want to encourage you guys to eat a wide variety of greens. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just start picking some of my baby greens. So there's some radish greens there, some lettuce greens, here's some mild mustard, here's some red Russian kale, here's some more kind of like cruciferous greens, radish greens, red Russian kale greens. Here's some tot soy greens. I really like to eat the tot soy. It's kind of a mild salad green. It's an Asian green, and actually that stuff grows really well. Let me show you guys that. So the tot soy is one of my favorite things to grow during the winter time because it grows so fast. As you can see, it filled out these two little containers I got really well, and I'm going to go around when harvesting. I'm just going to harvest one leaf off each plant, and in this way they could continue to grow and continue to feed me. I could literally come out here a few times a week to harvest one leaf off each plant, provided there's nice, good sun and the weather's been nice, because as you pick it, guess what? It encourages the plants to grow faster. Now, I don't know how long you guys have been into raw foods, but I've been into raw foods now for 18 years. This is my 18-year anniversary. And one of the things I really want to encourage you guys to do in raw foods is to grow your own food. That is literally the end game in raw foods because, I mean, think about it. If you could just go outside and pick fruit from your fruit trees and pick your little greens to eat, and especially when picking greens, I'm not picking those large leaves of kale. I'm picking, little baby leaves of kale right here. Baby leaves, they digest better, they're more tender, and guess what? They have more nutrition than the larger leaves. And plus, when you're buying your even organic produce at the store, right, it's been picked and shipped, and you're probably getting it 7 days after it's been harvested. And after food is harvested, the nutrition goes down. Up to 50% of certain nutrients can be lost in just 24 hours. So literally by growing my own, picking my own, and going inside and eating my own, I'm getting higher nutrient quality because it's just picked. Plus, I'm growing in the most nutrient-dense soil on Earth. I mean, I guarantee this stuff is grown with higher nutrition than anything else money can't buy, because I'm using things like compost and rock dust, trace mineral supplementation to my soil. And if you want to learn about growing food, I have a whole channel dedicated to that with over 700 videos that will teach you guys how to grow the food, and actually have videos showing you guys how I set these up and even planted them out. And that website is at growingyourgreens.com. What I'm going to do next is actually I'm just going to go ahead and pick the rest of my salad, fill up my salad bowl with minimum of a half pound, hopefully maybe even a pound if I could do that. Then I'll go inside and actually make a dressing for you guys and show you what I'm going to put on top of my fresh picked salad greens. Hello my friends, I just walked in and picked all my fresh baby greens out of my garden. Now we have about 3/4 of a pound here of the fresh baby greens, and what we're going to do next is actually dump them into a larger bowl. One of my pet peeves or for raw food is to have small bowls. Now the bowl that I'm actually dumping all these greens into is actually called a punch bowl because this is the size bowl that I believe you guys should be eating out of every night. Even a large bowl, this is like one of the largest size bowls you could get, are devoid in many of my raw fooders friends' houses, which I think is sick. They should have super large bowls. So get a punch bowl. I got this on clearance. But yeah, punch bowls are really good because they'll hold all your greens. I mean, look at that. In this bowl, it was overflowing. This bowl is just about right, and it's going to be able to hold the dressing that we're going to make for my mixed leafy green salad here, fresh picked. So what we're going to do for the dressing is really simple. We're just going to blend up some fruits. And yes, this is a really delicious dressing. I've had it many times. It only takes 2 ingredients. So the 2 ingredients are mangoes. And so we have about 0.880 pounds of mangoes. So that's about, just say, 0.75, say 3/4 of a pound of mangoes. And then it takes some peppers. So I recommend using bell peppers in this recipe, sweet peppers. So use red, orange, or yellow. Do not use any green peppers. They are not ripe and they're going to make this dressing taste horrible. In addition, I don't encourage you guys to eat any unripe Solanaceae family fruits, so such as tomatoes and peppers and eggplants. Not a good thing in my opinion. Today I'm using actually the mini peppers. These are actually hothouse grown, so I do on occasion eat hothouse grown foods because they're probably not sprayed with pesticides, and in most cases they're using what's called IPM, Integrated Pest Management, which means they're only going to spray as a last resort if they need to. And many hothouse varieties may be certified pesticide free. And these guys I find are a lot sweeter than the larger peppers, but the challenge is with these guys it's a lot more labor intensive to remove all the seeds. So those are the 2 ingredients. The 2 main ingredients. The other ingredient, we're also going to use another pepper, but this is not a sweet pepper, folks. This is a hot pepper. This is a hot pepper I grew in my very garden and dried it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the dried skin of the flesh to the blender without the seeds. If you add the seeds, you're in for a heap of trouble because it's going to be super hot. So I guess let's go ahead and make this dressing. And what we're going to use today is the Vitamix 32-ounce carafe. So many of you guys may have the 64-ounce Vitamix carafe. I like the 32-ounce carafe, especially when making dressings. It tends to vortex better and suck in everything better and blend better, plus it's less to clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and simply put that on the top of the blender, and we're going to dump in our mangoes. I had already actually just took off the skin and the pit, and we just have all the fruit here. Now the thing I want you guys to remember is that the mangoes are the #1 fruit in the world. They're like the most consumed fruit, and they're very high in especially the phytochemicals. So that's really good. I want to encourage you guys to eat a plant-based diet that's rich in the phytochemicals and phytonutrients that are found in fruits and the vegetables. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our peppers. I de-seeded the peppers. Once again, this is 3/4 of a pound approximately. We're going to dump these in. We're going to smush those down in there so they all fit. No problem. Finally, we're going to take my hot pepper. We're going to crack this open for you guys. And we're going to make sure we don't get any of the seeds. And you know what? When adding hot pepper, you could use some cayenne powder if you don't have freshly grown dehydrated peppers from your garden. If you do, add a little bit and then taste the dressing and make sure it's going to taste right for you before you start dumping in cayenne powder, because this is to taste. It's also optional. You don't need to add the hot spiciness, but I like to add that little bit of spiciness to, make this dressing fun. All right, so that is the last hot pepper. Now, the reason why I like the peppers so much is because they're actually highest of any fruit on the Andes scoring system. The Andes scoring system stands for Aggregate Nutrient Density Index. And besides just eating fruits and vegetables, I want to encourage you guys to eat foods that are high on the Andes scoring list. Actually, some of the highest foods on the list are the kale at 1,000. And that's why I like the leafy greens. And it's very important to get a good amount of leafy greens in your diet each and every day. I know a lot of you guys might have no problem eating fruits because they're so good and so sweet. But many people don't eat enough greens, in my opinion. My goal every day is to eat 2 pounds of greens. And in the salad alone, it's 3/4 of a pound of greens. If I take into consideration all the extra fruit we're blending up, this salad is over 2 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables that you could be including in your diet, that I'm including tonight in my diet for dinner. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get blended. Sometimes when blending, I like to pulse a little bit to get everything mixed up. And it's very important when blending. You don't want to just let your blender run and walk away, because then you could overblend. Overblending can cause additional oxidation and you'll be losing nutrients in your dressing. So only blend as long as you need to. Alright, I think we got it all blended up. So, once again, the simple strategy for this salad. 3/4 of a pound of greens, 3/4 of a pound of the pepper, 3/4 of a pound of mango. Wow, this stuff smells really good. So remember, 1:1. That's the easiest recipe that you'll ever learn. Just remember the greens, the mango, the pepper, and a little bit of hot pepper in a 1:1 ratio. So if you're doing 1 pound of greens, use 1 pound of pepper and 1 pound of mangoes. In general, if I'm doing it, I use like a whole bunch of greens, 3/4 of a pound, maybe a pound some nights, 2 peppers and 2 mangoes, and there you go. So let's go ahead and pour this dressing on. And yes, this is a lot of dressing, and I like my salads flooded with dressing. That makes the greens go down a lot easier because each and every bite is covered in this sweet, hot, delicious goodness. Alright, so we got that almost all poured out, and what I really hate is actually stuff in the blender that doesn't come out when you pour it on. So I got this special spatula from Williams-Sonoma, and if you just go in there like this will get around the blade and you'll be able to scoop out all your organic goodness in your salad without losing any of the rich fruit goodness going on. Alright, we got every last bit of my dressing. No dressing left behind in my house. Alright, now we're going to try it for you guys. We don't even need a fork, man. We'll just dip a leaf in. Oh, man. This is so good. I can't wait to sit down and eat dinner now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode learning how to make a fresh, delicious salad with some home-picked salad greens. I want to encourage you guys to, grow your own greens and grow as much food on your property as you can. I know even if you don't have, a lawn or backyard to do it, you could grow in containers like I picked my salad out of today. You could grow containers on a little patio over concrete in your driveway. You could also even grow microgreens or sprouts in your house so that you can say you are growing your own food. Hopefully after watching this episode, you'll be more motivated to eat some more fresh greens and make this delicious dressing. Once again, my name is John Kohler with OKRod.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're the best.